Hi everyone, it's Monica with Scrap Saturdays, and today I'm trying to go back to doing voiceover type process videos. So bear with me. I hope I get this right. This is my second attempt, not because of anything bad with iMovie or anything, just because I didn't put my videos in the right order. So as I was talking to you, I'm like, what am I doing? So I'm working with the Scraptastic Kit sweater weather, and shipping takes a lot longer here to Canada. So on top of being uber busy with so many things going on with my life, I'm behind, and I really love this kit and I wanted to play with it. I don't take a lot of snow photos because I don't like being outside in the snow. But I think I'm going to be doing maybe a little bit of both, you know, some older photos, some new photos, and yeah, I've got some Christmas time photos too. So here I was just cutting down my paper to 8.5 by 11, and I really like to do that, especially when I'm in love with a collection and I know I've got a whole bunch of pre-printed photos. I'm using a paper clip to keep all of my remnants, edges and stuff from cutting around. And even, as you can see, the manufacturing strips if I really like the pattern on there as well. And it just keeps them kind of close at hand and not all mumble jumbled, and then I keep searching for them. So these are just little tips that I do for myself, organization and getting into the habit of putting things into little bins, or with paper clips help out. Here I'm using some of the cutouts that I did with my Cricut, and Baby It's Cold Outside was the title that I first thought I wanted to use, but once I had it on the layout I didn't really like it. The paper that I used was some basil cardstock, and it was leftover very shiny, beautiful textured paper that my sister had purchased for some wedding stuff that we did for her a couple of years back, and it cut out really nicely. I've refallen in love with my gypsy and just using my gypsy to place out all of the elements that I think I'd like to use. I didn't really end up using most of the snowflakes that I had cut out, but it doesn't matter because I just put them into a little baggie, or you know what, I give them to my kids so they can play with, or eventually I just recycle them because I have such a smaller room now, which is not a negative thing. My space is actually beautiful and I really like it, and I like that I'm close by to my family, but I really have to get into the mode of purging or getting used to what my style is so that I don't keep repurchasing things that I don't end up using. So the title that I end up choosing here is the Love You, My Darling, and I'm using it in combination to the thickers that came with the sweater weather kit. And I cut out the Love and Darling from the Sentimentals cartridge, and I'm just loving that. I'm really loving that I can use welded words and phrases that I found on a lot of my cartridges. And I'm using my hot glue gun to adhere down the word darling, and I really like using my hot glue. I only don't like little cobwebs of glue that are left behind, or like I told you before with my layout chair, the fact that sometimes the strings of hot glue get onto my photos, and that makes me sad because I don't want to ruin my photos. And I'm cutting some of those tags, or the tags from Jelly Bean Soup, and everything I used here, I believe, everything except for the paper that I cut the titles off, is exclusively just Scraptastic. So awesome kit, I really like it. The photos I printed out using my PictureMate, and at the beginning I mounted the 3 smaller photos onto some plain Recollections white cardstock just to give it the look like they were printed out as a film strip or as a strip of photos. That strip of photos as well, the small strip of photos, is mounted onto some foam, just plain foam from the dollar store. And I have to say thank you, Rory, so much for taking the time to make videos and teach us. And I'm in love with using foam to raise my photos, and just to use it as in general, just to raise everything. I find it saves me a lot of time from taking out the backings of those little pop dots and stuff like that. So I'm using the tear apart sheet. The tag that you see says cold hands, warm heart, and I really love that label look, you know, the one that I did even with a bunch of my layouts. So kind of my little signature thing, if I can say so. I know many of you do the same as we all do, but I really like that look of a bubbled type folded tag that sits underneath the edge of your photos. I really, really like that. So here I'm showing you that I'm using my hot glue just like Rory does, just down the middle. That way it still leaves you enough space to tuck things in and out underneath your photos. And I really love the pops of red that I'm adding to this layout. And here I'm using that cut apart from Scraptastic that says Winter Fun. And I was just trying to see like where I needed to add some more red, and I have to balance it out on the other side. So I'm going to tuck that in underneath the photo and just barely underneath the Winter Fun. I love the plaid, and I'm trying to make it work on this layout, but I don't want to. I'm playing again with another manufacturing strip that kind of mimics the chevron piece, but I really like the candy cane stripe better. So I go ahead and do that. And you guys let me know. I think this is, I don't know. Is it faster when I do it live and I don't have to do voiceovers? Absolutely. But then am I free to scrap with, background distractions such as watching videos on this awesome screen that my husband's given me, and maybe make these videos a little bit shorter or a whole lot shorter so that you can enjoy, and you pretty much get the gist of what we're doing, right? I'm adding a Maya Road paper clip there to the top. Fabulous. Fabulous. I love those paper clips. Excuse me. And yeah, hot glue gun. Fall in love with your hot glue gun. Try it out. And I know we're all having the same type of, complaints with our adhesives. And I keep saying this on every single video, but as you can see off to the top right corner, I've got my Tombow liquid. And I like it and I don't. I like that it dries clear so you don't really see any residue or mess, but I don't like that it buckles my paper even though I don't put a lot. I think I don't put a lot. Maybe I have to correct myself, but when I use hot glue, it's instant and it doesn't do any damage to my paper except for the cobwebs, which, you give and take with everything. But this glue really does buckle my paper, and I don't like that look. You know the look when you glued something down and you're like, it looks... I don't know. I just don't like it. That's just me being fussy. And I'm cutting this snowflake in half. And I don't know what the name of the cartridge is that Joys of the Season maybe? Something like that. So yeah, those thickers, they're great, but the adhesive on the back, I had to put my acrylic block down to weigh it down. And then these are some punched out snowflakes that I used with my POW paper, and I love them. They're almost tone on tone with that background paper that I used, but they add just that beautiful amount of sparkle to it. And this is a picture of my son Augustino at the front door. He was just facing the window, and it was a nice bright day just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, if that. And he's got one of those fancy big man scarves, as I call it, and we were on our way out. This is his fancy winter coat. So he's got his dirty winter coat that I wash weekly from school, that kind of like rubs up against all the school buses and cars and, out in the playground. And then he's got this fancy coat and scarf set that I think he looks so handsome, and I really enjoyed taking that photo, and it came out pretty clear considering I've been complaining about what my iPhone is doing comparative to my Canon, which I have to get back into the use of. Loving my enamel dots as usual, always in trios because it makes me happy. This last little guy, I kind of straggle him down to the bottom, and yeah, I love it. I love the way it turned out. I cannot not make a not busy layout, okay? I don't know how. And just a close-up to let you guys know this is what I made. I'm slowing it down. I really love it. Bear with me with my lighting. I love my new craft room. Soon I'll make up a new video showing you where we're at. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everything. And I'll see you guys soon.